Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. If you've been following this channel, you know that I've been playing quite a bit of the Diablo 4 beta. I wanted to give my overall impressions and thoughts on this game in the form of 3 things that I liked and 3 things I disliked about the beta. Before we get into it, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get into it. The thing that I enjoyed the most about the Diablo 4 beta, surprisingly, was the boss fights. I was not expecting this, because with Diablo 3, I felt like the boss fights were pretty easy. I didn't feel like there were a lot of mechanics that you had to memorize. I didn't feel like there were, the challenge was there. Regardless of what difficulty you were playing on, it felt like the way to beat a boss fight was to just gain more power. But in Diablo 4, the bosses actually had some mechanics that you had to pay attention to, and I did die a few times to some of them, which is a really good thing. I love boss fights. If you follow this channel, you know that a lot of my content is centered around it, so this was a great surprise for me. The second thing that I really enjoyed was the skill tree. I feel like this game is going to have way more build variety than Diablo 3 did. In Diablo 3 there were just a few builds per class that were actually viable in high-end content, but I think you're going to see in D4 that there's just a lot more variety in character builds. The skill tree has a lot of skills that can pair up with each other and feed off each other. I personally played a rogue and a sorcerer during the beta, and I was really pleasantly surprised at how I could respec my character, not for free, but just for a few gold, and completely change the way that I played. It was really fun, and I'm looking forward to see what these builds will look like as we're able to progress into more content past just the level 25. The last thing I'm going to talk about should come as no surprise to anybody that has played any kind of Blizzard game before, and especially those of you that have played Diablo. The story is awesome. The cutscenes are beautiful. The voice acting is just right on point, which is a really fresh thing for me coming in from the Wolong Fallen Dynasty and Neo games, where the voice acting is really cheesy. Here, the voice acting, you can see the emotion on the characters' faces, and it matches up really well with the words that they're saying and the inflections in their voices. The cutscenes are just absolutely beautiful. They're brutal, but they're beautiful. And if you have any kind of background knowledge at all with the Diablo story, you are going to really, really enjoy not just the story in this game, but the cutscenes are just on another level. Way, way more so than in Diablo 3. We're going back to Diablo 2, where I played Diablo 2 Resurrected, and I thought that the cutscenes there and the storytelling were very, very well done. We're getting more of that here in Diablo 4, but it seems like it's even ramped up another notch. Moving on to the first thing that I disliked about Diablo 4 is that it starts really, really slow. Not with the storytelling and the cutscenes like what I mentioned in the previous section, but specifically talking about the gameplay. You're given these little bits and pieces where you're fighting small mobs, and you're thinking, man, this feels really good. But then the game takes you out of it when you get to the first town, and you're taken out of it for a little while, and you don't really get back into that experience of fighting for a little while, and it just feels like building your character early on is way slower than it needs to be. The second thing that I didn't really enjoy was the side quest. Not the content in the side quest, though. It more has to do with the lack of fluidity of it. Let me explain. In Lost Ark, the thing that I really enjoyed about the side quest was that you picked up every single one because you were going to accomplish them on the way to the main objective. This is not the case in Diablo 4. In the beta, at least, you have to go out of your way to complete these side quests. It's not fluid and it feels a little bit clunky. The content of the side quests I feel like are really good and they're fun, but actually getting there, sometimes I had to go out of my way and it was annoying. My final dislike is the world itself. The world is large, it's beautiful, and it's filled with quite a bit of content. You have side quests to do, you have world bosses that you can fight with other players, you have dungeons littered throughout, there are enemies on paths, and all that stuff is great, but I can't help but feel like things are spread out just for the sake of making the map bigger. It doesn't feel as dense as I feel like it should. Now, I did have fun with it. I had fun exploring the map, but there were times when I was walking and just felt like a lot of the paths were unnecessary and there just wasn't enough to do. Despite there being quite a bit of content, it was perceived as not as dense as it should be. Overall, I really did enjoy my time with the Diablo 4 beta, and I was pleasantly surprised most by the difficulty. The story I expected to be great. The skill tree, I was surprised by the variety that I think people are going to be making in their builds. Despite starting slow and the side quests being a little bit out of the way, and then the world not feeling as dense as I would like, I still am very much looking forward to this release. The monetization issues that people are scared about aside, the game looks like it's shaping up to be pretty good. Now, of course, this is just my opinion, and if you have different thoughts, different things that you liked or didn't like, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.